Good morning, everyone. Today I want to talk about audits. You know, we have those new 87,000 agents that the IRS is throwing at us saying, okay, we're coming, right? First things first, I'm sure if you're a member of our Tax Goddess family channel, you've seen my other video about the 87,000 agents. Yes, they're adding a bunch of agents, but one, that's across the next 2 years. Two, 50,000 of those 87,000 agents are to replace the 50,000 agents that are retiring over the next 10 years. So we're really only adding about 37,000 agents. It's still a big number, but I'm not too paranoid or panicked about it. However, you know that I am a big fan of doing everything legally, everything above board, making sure we are not getting in the way of an audit. So today I want to cover some of the things that can cause an audit. Now, you guys know I have this aggression scale, right? Coined for Tax Goddess, 0 to 10. 0 meaning the IRS never calls, never ever, except for a random audit, because those can happen, right? They can just pick you from a list. And 10 meaning we're all going to jail, okay? My favorite example, of course, was Al Capone. He was definitely a level 9. He was doing some shady stuff, not reporting all of his income, and that is finally how they caught him and ended up getting him in jail, right? That's how they caught him, was through the IRS for not reporting his income. So today we are going to cover some of the audits, some of the most common questions and things about audits, and when should you really be worried. Now, the first one, tax returns generally are annual, okay? That means that your clock for ticking on getting the return filed, as well as for the IRS to audit you, is a yearly clock, okay? So typically the IRS has 3 years to audit any previous returns. You also have 3 years to amend any previous returns. Now, the 3-year time period does depend. That is the federal level that I'm talking about. In some states, it can be longer. So, for example, I'm from Arizona. That is 4 years in Arizona. So 4 years to audit, 4 years to amend, okay? Now, the one thing that you might want to pay attention to is within that 3-year timeline, the IRS has publicly said in the past that it pulls its audit pool from people that file before March 15th for businesses and April 15th for personal. So, of course, at Tax Goddess, we always recommend our clients to extend. That just helps. It's a little bit of extra help. Why would you not take the extra help in staying away from audits? Now, for some people, those time periods, that 3 years, can be absolutely frightening, okay? Most tax lawyers and, of course, CPAs and strategists, we use a monitoring system to ensure that we are minimizing our clients' exposure. So what did you file? When did you file it? When is your 3-year time period up? What should we be looking for, okay? So with that 3 years, the other thing that you absolutely need to know is that if there's a special rule, and it overrides absolutely everything else, okay? If you omit Al Capone, if you omit more than 25% of your income, okay? Or if you overstate your cost basis on something you sold by more than 25%, the IRS gets 6 years, double the 3-year rule, 6 years to audit and to open everything, okay? We always tell our clients to keep your documentation for 7 years, all the backup paperwork, all the calculations, all the information you need. And of course, please don't omit, don't overstate your basis or understate your income. That's how Al Capone got trapped, okay? So don't do that. Now, we do also have special forms for gifts or inheritances from foreign nationals or overseas assets, anything that has to do with a foreign transaction. So if you are a U.S. citizen, green card, anyone that is filing U.S. tax return, if you have any interactions with anything foreign, if you fail to file those tax returns, those forms within your tax return, you can actually be facing severe and heavy penalties. So typically those are forms like the 8938 for overseas assets, the 5471 if you own a part of a foreign business. It can also include the FBAR or FinCEN 114. Penalties for those are $10,000 per form. And in some cases, I've seen $10,000 per account. Okay, so these are big, bad, nasty penalties if you are not filing those properly. Now, those are the types of things that often, the reason why I'm bringing them up here, those are the types of things that often come up in an audit. You know, you may have prepared your tax return perfect. You reported all your income, you reported just your perfect amount of basis, but yet You have a foreign pension plan. Let's say we had this happen to a client. He lived in Ireland for 6 years. He had a retirement plan in Ireland. His previous CPA, when he came to us, his previous CPA never told him that he had to report that. So we had to go back, we had to go through a forgiveness program, get it all cleaned up so that he wasn't hit with $10,000 penalties on these accounts for the 6 years that wasn't being reported, okay? So there are some big pieces here when it comes to audits. When should you be worried? If your CPA or tax preparer tells you, oh, don't worry about that, we're not gonna report that, be worried, run away, okay? Absolutely every time you wanna report all of your income. And I mean down to the fact that if you won $5 in the lottery, report that income, okay? Because I would much rather see you report all the income. That way, if the IRS were ever to come to ask, you literally reported every dollar, every piece of income, okay? Now, on the other side of that, of course, at Tax Goddess, we are tax strategists. This is what we do. We're trying to make sure that you are paying the minimal amount of tax that you absolutely have to pay by law, but legal, right? Take all the strategies, but stay legal. No Al Capone, red and orange do not go well together. I'm not going to jail. So absolutely report all your income and then use legal and above board strategies to reduce your taxation on the income that you're reporting. So if you have any questions, if you're worried that maybe something didn't get reported right, if you want Tax Goddess's team to look over your tax return and see if there's something we need to modify or change or do, reach out to us. This is what we do. We are tax strategists and we love it. We want to make sure that anyone that works with our team, and of course, anyone out in the public, even if you're just watching this video, please, please, please stay out of the audit realm, right? Do your best to report all of your income and take legal tax deductions when you can. So if you're looking to reduce your taxes significantly, come join our numbers here. We would love to help you. Just reach out to the team and myself at taxgoddess.com. Happy to chat with you. Have a wonderful day and we'll talk to you later. Bye.